Hello everyone, this is a Greyshot 117 here bringing you another Steel Division replay. On one team, on the Allied team, we have Harold. On the enemy team, we have Alazar. So, you know, about 1v1 should be interesting. For those who want to know about the battle group or the map, we can see here the map is a pretty much forest intense area with a nice city land, not city, but like I guess rich, oh god, what's the name of it? It's a French, not Louvois, but it's like a French style mansion type thing. I forget the name, alright, I'm sorry. Small town over here, we got some other, looks like artillery zones. And yeah, about it. But yeah, we can see here the main city area, pretty much all fours, so infantry is going to do best. Now, what do we have? We have the 91 Luftlander. They have some good to very good infantry. Tanks and AT are okay. They have some good artillery. They have an amazing air force, and overall, it's a very interesting tactic to take a lot with infantry and then use the German air power to pretty much help push the enemy back. On the flip side, we have the Guards Armored, which is about average. It's funny. It's a British battle group, but essentially their assault is just good infantry, very good armor, but overall they don't have anything too amazing about them as far as I can tell. Each one has a steady progression, and each one has a steady progression that you don't want to waste too much in a certain phase. You want to make sure you spread out evenly. They don't have something that is necessarily dominates in one phase. Even like the Luftlander, they have great infantry, but their best planes are in the later games, so they can't exactly use that. So of course their stuff is spread out compared to, let's say, I'm trying to think of it, like the Guards troop, and I guess the British faction I use that has a very good opening phase, but then kind of starts sucking later on. A little bit more. In any case, let's see what we have here. We got a small infantry group by Alazar on the left. We have some infantry in mid. Looks like, again, it's a 1v1, so you have a lot of open territory you have to guard. So we'll see how well that goes. Let's speed it up while they're planning. We got some mechanized infantry moving up. I guess that could help, especially having these cars with MGs move up and support. Though, as you can see, it's costly. Definitely less units compared to the German player, who has, again, also a lot of vetted troops, which definitely will help compared to this guy who has a couple little vetted troops, but that's mostly with the vehicles, which I think, yeah, which are recon vehicles, which I don't know if you can tell, but this is more of a densely forest map. I guess you could do a recon here, and that would be fine, but it'll be interesting. Maybe you could deploy the recon in the middle here in this like area, and then it'll be fine. You also have to pay attention to the river. Might be a little bit hard to cross some sections, so that could be an issue. But overall, let's try to fast forward to the start, which is taking a while. God damn it, guys. And I guess they're just waiting to hit play versus each other. Oh boy, but it's been 4 minutes and 30 seconds and still nothing. Also, straight road, straight down, so a tank right there. Anyway, a longer range tank. I think this one only has 800 meters. Could be effective. So they're deploying. Let's see where they're going. Mechanized going in. Looks like he's playing more defensive. Interesting. While the Germans going more offensive. Makes sense. They have a lot more vetted troops. They can push a lot easier than the Guards. But we shall see how that goes. In the lead is the armored car, racing up into battle with support. Look at all those trucks. Mechanized troops carrying all the infantry, rushing up to the front. Let's see how things go. We're about to get engagement. Looks like that Kubo might, unfortunately, be fired upon by that. Oh, nope. Takes a sharp left into the forest and drops off a Panzer Shrek group. Very nice. Or, yeah, it's Panzer Shrek. Wanted to make sure I got that. I think that has a range of about 200 meters. So, if that armored car pushes up trying to go for a flank, that could be a big issue. Also, nice recon, allowing some sight. AT gun also on standby. I think that one has a 1,000 meter range. 75, so maybe actually longer. Well, actually, let's check. This has a 1,200 meter range. So the AT gun, holy mackerel, look at that. Just barely out of focus. But nope. Now it's in range, aiming, preparing to fire. Nice shot on the half track. Unfortunately, this group right here, oh, 250 millimeter range. That's actually pretty damn good for a Panzer Shrek. Problem, though, is the fact they specialize in anti-armor, not anti-infantry. Lots of AT guns, so he's definitely planning to hold off against armor in general. He's moving up. He could get some nice shots. We need infantry backing, which at least he has one Fallschirmjäger squad, but yeah, you need to move that up a little bit more. Just pointing that out. MG in the building, nice idea, kind of lock it down. More infantry on the right, Panzerstreck group trying to stop any infantry from moving up. A little bit more infantry over here. The left side is, though, it looks like where Harold is trying to push, and right now that's working. He has a small advantage, though enough AT fire, because again, this thing has an explosive component to it. You can see here these high explosive shells. Opening fire on a lot of this infantry, which are now pinned down in this area. Also, poor truck. We have some tank fire. No, I'm sorry, the half tracks and whatnot. Opening fire, trying to push back that infantry, allow some cover. We have some artillery coming in. We have a 25-pounder. Trying to push back on that AT gun and some infantry, which is allowing a huge hole to open up for the Allies to push through. Most likely what he might try to do is swing around and come around the Axis, who are trying to fortify this center area. Now, if I was the Axis, I would try to reinforce this area and then send all reinforcements to cover up that block. The last thing you want is to come in. Though he's sending a lot of AT. Let's see how well that goes. I know the AT gun here was destroyed, and we still have this one over here, but you have to worry about that infantry. They're not that great. As you can see, they're essentially recruits. But the thing that these guys have is numbers. There's way more of that infantry than the German variety, even though the Germans only have a small, very effective veteran force. Now, unfortunately, this Panzerstreck group being annihilated by a lot of infantry, so they will be pushed back and or killed. They're Vet 2, which sucks that they got taken out. Pack gun opening fire. Could easily kill some of these guys. Can they open fire? Misses. And the armored car is like, I'm sorry, did you just shoot me? Doesn't matter. Still kills it. Half track in range. Opening fire with machine gun. Can it kill in time? Negatory. AT gun with one man remaining. Knocks out both tanks. That's going to stop the guards' push for right now. We do have a Stug. Or, sorry, a Stu. Not Stug. Even though it kind of looks like a Stug, honestly. I mean, look at that thing. It's a Stug. Just without a G and added H for some reason. The Stu is moving up. We also have a Cromwell moving up. Again, it's not, as you can see by the gun, it's not meant for versing other armor. It's meant for versing infantry. But its explosive rounds can hurt enemy armor. Now, the reason why he would probably move this thing up is, as you can see, has a 10 armor gun and can hold back against most AT guns on their side. They move up this pack gun, move it up to support, and bing bada boom, you got yourself a nice killer shot on that Cromwell and hopefully pushes them back. The infantry, though, is still pushing up, and that could overwhelm them if they move up with the ET power. Let's actually double check their range. 400 meters, but I think the Piat has a 200 meter range, and the Piats are not great at AT, so we'll see how well that is. We have an armored car moving up, again, trying to use that explosive. I'm sorry, it's just using, is this armor piercing? Wow, alright, that's interesting. Machine gun with armor piercing. AT gun, though, opening fire. This thing needs to pull back or hide in cover. Actually, was that tree? Hold on. Nope, it was not. I was like, is that covered? Nope. And it dies. Nice idea, though, trying to flank, get around it, and hit it on its side. Because, again, remember, this thing's armor is weaker on its side. But yeah, right now, the Germans doing a pretty damn good job at holding back the lots of guards troops. And at least getting a little bit more territory in mid. So that's positive. Negative, though, is the right, which it seems Harold is trying to make a desperate push to open up another avenue of attack. However, we have another Stu coming in, provide some fire support. Now, he doesn't really have anything to really fight that, so the Stu should be fine over here. Meanwhile, on the left, we have artillery once again coming in, trying to hit that artillery, push them back if at all possible. Again, it doesn't take a lot of heavy ordnance to really dislocate an enemy. Though we can see point-wise, the Allies are no longer winning. The Germans are coming back. We have a Fuhrer over here trying to open fire. But again, even though it's vetted, it's a lot less guys. Though they have some good equipment and they have a lot less ammo as well than these guys, as you can tell. So that could be a big issue. Though a firefight is ensuing, we'll see what happens. It's about less than 4 minutes until the next phase, and that's when I assume the German player will start probably bringing in a lot of air support. because I assume at that capacity a couple strafing runs could easily push them back. They don't. Wow, this thing is completely out of ammo. So yeah, you need a resupply immediately. Also, the artillery is about to run out of ammo, which could hold off the assault. Additional infantry coming over. We still have these Jaeger squads over here with Vet 3, mind you. If this thing can open fire, it can pretty much overwhelm these. Now, these guys are recruit. You can see here that, like, this... Oh, God, this S-Troopin, since they're so low and so disvetted, if they get engagement, they're easier to, like, surrender, which sucks. But it's something that they have to live with. Artillery's coming up, I guess counter that artillery. We still have the stew over here now, again, with the Fuhrer kind of vetting it up, which helps it a little bit. The explosive power trying to push back the infantry, allowing some relief on the S-Troopin. Probably should move this up a little bit and probably move this up to open fire. Maybe use that artillery as well to open fire there. Or they try to hit the Dingo and the 25-pounder. One of the two could really work. They're resupplying the Cromwell, though, so that could be a big issue. Bring that thing up and start opening fire. Again, that thing has 11 attack power, so they have to really worry about that stew. Because, again, that thing is 10, it's 11, Cromwell can beat it. So, additional infantry moving up. Seems that Jaeger squad is coming in on the flank. Not a bad idea. Again, it has a Panzerfaust ability, so we can fire at that squad and knock it out. But, again, we have additional squads coming in along with the half-tracks. Could be a big problem. MG up as well, so that can provide suppression. This guy's almost out of long-range ammo, so that's a huge problem. Stu could probably open fire on that location if it has sight. What's the range on this? 1,200 meters. Very surprised you are not opening fire, but whatever. Maybe you are waiting for something that I can't see. Stu's still opening fire, but the Cromwell getting some nice shots on it. Oh, nope! It's actually shooting over here against artillery. Interesting choice. 3-star squad just annihilating the Herald's forces. So you'll need to send in more men or call in some type of artillery to really break them up. Bringing in more cheap infantry. This is fine, I guess, but you do have to worry that the fact that even though they're cheap and you can have more in number, they're higher vetted, so that could be a big issue. Now, we do have a huge blob of forces over here, and the Jaeger squad's trying to come in from behind. He is 2 vet, but he is being overwhelmed by a lot of infantry and armored vehicles, so he's going to need some support of some type. Stu could come in, but it looks like he got a nice shot on that armored car, so that could help. Unfortunately, as soon as he got pinned down, the infantry moved up and they were forced to surrender, which sucks, unfortunately. But it looks like that Stu is causing a lot of damage, plus their squad and the MG are causing a lot of suppression, so that could be a very good thing indeed for everyone involved. Engine destroyed. So, wow, actually, can I see the engine? Is the engine really blown up? Oh, I wish the engine was on fire, kind of like COH2. They just have a little engine thing. Nice shot. Managed to kill it. That's a very good thing. They still have some troops here, though I could definitely see them using this more at an advantage and pushing more troops in. More vetted troops. Oh, here we go. There's a plane for you. Coming in for the... Again, this thing is an anti-tank one. Also good for just strafing other units involved. But yeah, this plane could definitely do a lot against all that enemy armor on the ground. Like that Cromwell, if it can get a nice strafe in. So let's see what he does with it. Again, my assumption is he's trying to find a target. But we shall see what he tries to go for. Oh! He's going some type of armored unit. We got a kill on there, and I can definitely tell that because they exploded. So very nicely done on that. Again, just to pull out, this thing has 13 shots at a 16 armor-piercing value. So pretty much that Cromwell is a sitting duck if it can get a nice shot on. So let's see what it goes for next. We have some AA moving up. Again, not a bad idea. Try to help clear the skies. Again, something I guess he wasn't planning on dealing with, which is funny because... Oh, shit. Manages to kill the other squad. Very nice. I mean, other unit. Very nice. So this thing is just the ace of the sky against armor. Additional infantry moving up, trying to push back the... whatchamacallit. The guard troops with their armor depleted and pushed. And this could be the time that the Germans need for Alazar to really just take back this left flank and kind of solidify it. Infantry moving up. Vetted troops, a lot of them moving up as well, causing a lot of suppression. These troops, no matter, even though they originally had more, just unfortunately just can't deal with all that veterancy. And again, it doesn't help the Fuhrers at increasing their veterancy even more, because they were 2 and this thing increased it to 3. So they're pinned down. This guy moved up. He could instantly cause them to surrender, and I feel like that he's gonna easily take that area. Oh shoot! Plane down from the fighter. The Tempest clears the skies and pulls out before it's too late. Now, Axis gaining victory over territory. They managed to gain a little bit more territory. Sucks that he lost his ace in the sky, but maybe again he should probably had a fighter or some AA of his own to support. Though we do have a problem. We have a martyr moving up. So this thing, very good tank destroyer. We'll see how well it does. Again, longer 13 power, nothing to sneeze at. He can easily help out with this infantry as well. So the stew and all that, this infantry's done for. Though, even though they had lost the sky, the plane did what it needed to. This guy has no armor on the left. Infantry is unopposed in mid. And on the right, Alazar is pushing in pretty damn hard, knocking out the AT gun, allowing the stew to move up. Additional infantry moving up. And again, this is some of the cheap infantry, but again, he doesn't need too many more men. Armored unit opening fire, causing infantry to take some casualties. Fuhrer not opening fire, and I don't blame him. There's only one guy left in that squad. Jaeger squad's moving up on a flank. One good push is all they need to really annihilate this guy on the left-hand side, and that would leave an entire flank open, which could be very, very bad for the Allies indeed. Well, the right side not looking much better. Though they are holding, it doesn't look very good. They are slowly getting closer and closer, and although they have that hedgegrove area and have a huge swath of territory to cross, with the additional armor, they could push over and easily push the Allies back if, you know, concentrated enough, so we shall see. Moving up the recon squad, is going to pin down, not much really to hold it back. Squad's still there, keeping that one guy back because, you know, you don't want him to die. Additional infantry moving up. It looks like we have some mortar teams moving up, trying to help push back that own artillery. They are close enough that 17-pounder could be hit by not heavier artillery, but just, again, mortar fire. And the Axis, again, very close to gaining the lead in points. Now, double check, it's middle of the phase, so that could be a big issue. Because if you're wondering, well, why is that an issue, Greyshot? Well, it's because if you had something that could really turn the tide, it's probably not going to be available for quite some time. Aircraft falling back. Though it has veterancy, this thing does have the lead. Oh, nope, it's turning around. I kind of want to see this fighter battle. Better on the turn, the ME seems to be. Tempest trying to engage. But remember, this thing's been on the field a little bit longer, so its fuel is probably not as good. This Tempest pulling back when it realizes this unit is vetted and probably slightly better. So he has to pull back and wait for additional support. So that plane's going to be in the sky. Germans have air supremacy. Left-hand side artillery seems to be helping to push back the anti-air gun, which can help clear the skies on the left-hand side for additional air support. Though it looks like the Germans having a bit of an issue, losing that supremacy. Though plane coming in, causing a strafe, hitting the armored car, which seems to be helping. Looks like that Stu did die on the right-hand side. I'm assuming that was it. Maybe because of infantry, maybe because of the armored car hitting the flank. Whatever the case may be, it got knocked out. So, looks like the attack is stalled for right now. Though the plane is coming in, causing some damage. Though it can't necessarily kill the armored car, it's at least keeping it back. So very nice indeed. Infantry just lighting up that force, trying to kill it. MG as well. You can zoom in here. Inside, opening fire. Trying to clear the sky. Not scare it, sky. Trying to clear the forest of all that infantry pinned up. Plane, even though low on fuel, still trying to hit that armored car, keep it from moving in. Although, that may have been a move that's too costly. Fighters going in and just help clear the sky. Plane down on the German side, and now the Allies have gained supremacy over the battlefield for the time. Force, sticking point, trying to hold on to dear life, but doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon. Looks like some troops got surrounded on the left. They're probably not going to survive much longer. Probably should have fallen back. But yeah, even though they have, you know, a recon unit there versus normal troops, they're surrounded. They have 2 tanks opening fire on it. Things are not looking good. Anyway, on the railroad tracks, we saw that artillery. We have Dingo providing some additional veterancy to it, which is good, and also resupply to the artillery. Though they have to watch out, they keep getting closer. The artillery could get with... No, it's definitely in tank range. It definitely can be fired upon by the stew. So that could be a big issue right there if it was open fire. Middle, however, it seems to be another story. Looks like they're trying to focus more men there and try to maybe push for the center. That could be a new avenue of an opportunity for the Herald's forces, because the flanks are just being hammered right now by Alizar. So a break in middle could provide some much needed relief, or it could be definitely a negative effect. 3 minutes before some of the bigger guns come in, and so far we haven't really, oh, here we go. I was gonna say we haven't really seen a tank, and here's a Panzer III on the left. Not bad. Actually have a tank on the left. What's its range again? Its range is 1,000 meters. Plane inbound. Typhoon calling a bomb strike in, making that Panzer III fall back. Oof. Not a good sign. Not a good sign indeed. Although Typhoon dropped its payload, pulling back, and it did exactly what it needed to. I'll break up the left-hand side. Looks like the Allies, although took heavy casualties, were able to, well, cause a lot of issues for the Germans on the left, which maybe, just maybe, is enough for them to open up this right-hand flank. Panzer III cannot fire back, though, wow, right before it died, caused it to surrender. However, the AT gun knocks out that thing, so unfortunately it looks like the Germans should be still able to hold this area for a small period of time, though additional infantry is moving in to both that and mid. So we'll see what happens. Cromwell knocked out by the Martyr. Not a bad idea. Plus Pack 40 moving in with a range of 1,200. Yep. So I gained tank supremacy on the left-hand side. Guards need to change up tactics, for 55% of the battlefield is controlled by Harold. I'm not Harold. Alizar. You know. Simple name confusion. Don't mind me. So what could Harold do exactly? Well, a push right here would be valuable because I'm not seeing a lot of support. His mortars are over here, and as long as you keep a small defensive line there, a push right here could be valuable, because when you see here, he's kind of fortifying this left-hand area, but there's not much here, and you could use that infantry cover kind of as your advantage by pushing up. Though you have to worry about veteran troops, from what we can see, Alizar doesn't have all that many veteran troops coming in. It looks like he's just bringing in just basic troops, which is good, kind of. If he's bringing in just basic troops, he run out of the veteran stuff. They used all of his best troops early on, so that could be definitely an advantage if you try to push forward. Plus, you could use this terrain to kind of lock down this area with your armor and kind of make sure you don't get overwhelmed by AT fire and other armor. And also, you could flank armor if they try to move in the forest, so that would be my strategy that I would recommend. Lloyd Carrier moving up with an AT gun, again trying to, I'm assuming, push back over here. Though we can double check overall, this right hand side is looking pretty bare on Allied forces, while the left hand side, it's a little bit more even. I love how this thing is still surrendered. It's just like, yeah, we may have surrendered a second too early, so yeah, nice job, Panzer III, nice job. Although, from what we can see here, Stu still in the game, along with the other Panzers, so not bad. Armored car moving, sorry, yep, pretty much, moving up, trying to hurt that thing. Armor-piercing rounds did do a little bit, but that Panzer III is like, I'm sorry, you wanna come back? You wanna try this again? Infantry locking down this area. Looks like they're trying to do a nice little counterattack. Could be effective. Again, try to take back this forest area. Though with MG fire and additional grenadiers, this pinned down with that infantry moving up, they could surrender. Nope, they're pulling, they're moving. So, should be just fine. Up, they're pinned down again. He needs to move. Half-tracks moving up, though, opening fire with all 3 machine guns. It's a goddamn smorgasbord, and that thing gets annihilated by the half-tracks. 50 cal. I think they're 50 cal machines. No, wait, is that Vickers? I think that could be Vickers. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, well, man, it's like I wish there was a way we could know. Let's see, this is a Browning M1919. So yeah, I was completely wrong. What's on the armored car? Is that the Vickers? No, it's a Besa. Alright, well, I'm just completely off. Whoa! Fighter versus fighter. We have an air battle going on. While he has higher veterancy, Allies going with just more to try to turn the tide. He might try to pull out as there's just too many planes in the skies. Tempest, seeing that he's retreating, still not giving up the fight, going in for the kill. Will they be able to knock it out? Getting some nice hits in. Oh, it's going to be close. And that's a kill. That's a kill just right outside the battlefield. Now, ME-109 going in for the kill. This is vetted. trying to help out his, well, former friend, I assume. Where the heck did those... Oh, there they are. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch up to them. They're going to be able to pull away. Though, in the meantime, he's going to just open fire and take out a lot of stuff on the ground. This right-hand flank, though, the Allies are trying to break through, and the Germans seem to be having issues. Though, a nice small victory with the Grenadier Squad opening fire with a Panzerfaust knocking out the half-track. So very nice indeed. Playing Typhoon coming in, but the Me-109 just helping clear the skies, making it fall back. Can it go in for the kill? That is the question. Going low. Opening fire. And kill on the Typhoon. That's a costly loss. The Typhoon is a valuable allied unit. Oof. Things are... M109 just keeping the Germans' skies all clear. Anyway, German, though, forces on the ground taking some heavy losses. Allied forces as well. Plane coming in trying for a strafe, but this thing's running out of ammo, and we have to fear the enemy Allied forces in the skies could be coming back to try to knock that thing out. So if I was him, I would pull back. Area clear on the right, causing a huge swath of territory to fall to German hands, and things are not looking good. Though in the center area, it looks like infantry's pushing up, so that could be a little bit of relief. Wow, nope. And what? Wow, the 109 still in play. It knocks out that one other squad, causing a lot of issues. This right flank could fall very quickly. Germans not only repulsing that counterattack, but actually managing to push into Allied territory themselves, which could be a big issue indeed. Allies still have a number of forces on this left-hand side, but things are not looking good. Not looking good indeed. What's it? More losses on the left. Allied forces need to gain some victories and actually take out some units. For if they just keep losing forces left and right, they will not have a force sufficient to even hold this left area, let alone counterattack. So we shall see. Also, getting very close to that unit for a Panzerfaust. Actually, there's two. There's the Jaeger and the Grenadier Squad, which can move up in Panzerfaust. So they have to really worry about distance. Let's double check the distance of that unit right now. 400 meters, so what? It's about 300, I would assume. So these move up a little bit. They could open fire. We shall see. We shall see indeed. Though, we have some rifle squads in middle, gaining a little bit of territory. They at least lock something down, with additional squads moving up, trying to go in for the center of town. They could easily probably knock out that Jaeger squad, even though as veterancy they were just overwhelmed by 17 guys. Could be a big issue. Yeah, things are not looking all that great. Jaeger squad's gonna probably die, unfortunately, while defending the forest, and that would leave the main center of the map open for a possible Allied push. Though, while things were looking up in the middle, right-hand side, not so much. Although mortar fire trying to help clear it, but they are out of shots. So, things are not looking good indeed in mid. Right-hand side, though, things are looking great for the Germans. Although, not over them, as you can tell. Not over them. Skies, unfortunately, are remained in now Allied control. The Germans, I've only seen one plane deployed at a time, so with all those planes in the skies opening fire, they're doing a lot of damage, almost knocking out that AT gun, which would be very costly. Also, very surprised Al-Azhar has not deployed any AA whatsoever to try to combat all these planes. But the fighters will remain in the skies and could continue to harass infantry on the ground, which could open up the right flank up to maybe a counterattack. As the Germans are launching their own attack, but if things falter, it could change very quickly. AT gun's still opening fire. They need to clear it. 3 fighters and a Typhoon now in the sky. Oh, sorry, over the skies of the map. Going for the Marauder. Can they get the kill? Is the question. They got the kill and falling back, which puts the 2 biggest guns on the German side at a disadvantage, allowing the Cromwells to move up. However, they still have to worry about close-range ET fire by the infantry. Fighters are still over the skies. We have a recon unit providing some... Well, no, actually, he can't see a damn thing. So never mind. He can't provide any support whatsoever. Pioneer Squad opening fire. Or at least I think they might start opening fire, but they really don't... I was going to say that, but they actually do have this. Explosives. Wow. The fighter squadron of the Germans comes in Could be an interesting fight. All three fighters going in. One falling back. Germans coming back, and they have vetted planes. He's saved up. He waited for the counterattack. One fighter down. Things are not looking good for the Allies. Fighters coming back around. Can they get a kill before the Allies retreat? We have one in the path. He got him in his sights. Can he get the kill? Doesn't look like it. Looks like the Crusaders going to pull back the Air Force. And the Allies, unfortunately, may have just lost the air warfare over the skies. Also, the fighters causing that that Cromwell to surrender, which allowed the Pioneer Squad to take it over. Things are not looking good. Planes coming in, trying to knock out those AT guns on the Allied side. Can they do it? They are running low on ammo, and the Crusaders moving up, which could be a big issue for AA fire, though as you can see it's running low on shells. It needs to be constantly resupplied. Is that actually supply truck have anything? Sort of. Alright. A valiant stand on the left-hand side. They're trying to make the push, but the Germans are counterattacking with some better infantry, and the Marauder with its own anti-infantry flavor to it. Half-Track's trying to stay out of that thing's range, opening fire with what it can. Artillery coming in from the, what the hell, Lorraine. Isn't that a, wait, I'm sorry, isn't that a, oh, I swear I thought the Lorraine was a French tank, but whatever, I guess it is a German, at least in German use. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with another tank. Fighters still over the skies, running very low. Yeah, they're depleted. They're depleted on firepower, so they're going to need to fall back immediately. Besides, they have to watch out for that fighter support of the Allied variety, as they probably want to retreat those, so that way they can get resupplied, you know, reloaded, and, you know, counterattack. But yeah, Germans, we can just see with the overwhelming forces, Allies having a real tough time just trying to hold back. Though, big push in left could be a big issue, because right now it's literally facing downwind of a goddamn tank destroyer. So yeah, these half-tracks, while trying to go in for a flank, are just not doing well. Plus, we can hear the Germans are bringing up Stern Pioneers with flamethrowers, very deadly close range, and 3 Allied forces surrender on the field of play. Oh boy, and German forces just just clearing it. We do have a Cromwell moving up. If he gets a shot on the Marauder, it could kill it. We shall see. Cromwell opening fire. Though this thing has a better gun, this thing has better armor. Oh boy. It can go either way. It's moving though. This thing has steady the line of sight. Cromwell forced to pull back because of overwhelming infantry and fear that there could be some AT guns or AT fire in there. Infantry somehow managing to get around. Very surprised indeed. Looks like the Pioneer squads are out of grenades, out of pretty much any sort of anti-armor components. So that's very bad. Also, we have a Firefly, which may have just saved the Allies. Allies doing a huge push on the right, unknowing to the Germans. While the Germans do have a huge victory point-wise, now the Allies could turn the tide if they gain enough space. Looks like he's trying to use that block. Again, it looked grim for the Allies, but the Allies using again, a saved up reserves to just push through the right flank, which I guess from just the plane fire and everything else, we were able to break through very nicely. Infantry swarming through. Firefly on standby, using that as recon, making sure. And then with that Firefly, they could one-shot any German armored unit currently in play. German forces' best chance is getting up AT, bringing up a defensive line of some sort, and trying to hold back that line. With maybe some Air Force as well coming in to support. But, ugh, I would hate to be the Germans right now with that big push, because they could easily overwhelm these guys. Infantry rushing up, trying to neutralize that point. Allies are not out of the games just yet. Germans moving over a ton of the forces back, which could actually open up the door on the left-hand side for an Allied push. Huge push on the right-hand side by a ton of Allied infantry. They waited, mechanized came in, and just opening fire. Look at all that firepower, ladies and gentlemen. Those infantry units in the forest do not stand a chance, and they are being torn apart. Armored units coming in with AT.
Ooh, that's a good
maybe
armor.
some planes. allies out of the game for so long could gain victory in a last-minute push. Infantry rushing up on a lot of pinned down forces, causing surrender and knocking them out. My brother showing up with what's in the bag.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce in the bag. Alright, interesting.
Wanna know why? Because this game just got spicy, ladies and gentlemen.
Panzer group knocked out the half-track, trying to provide some support, but infantry opening fire. Looks like that Stu got knocked out by the Firefly. Double AT, triple AT guns moving up with a Panzer 4. Panzer 3, sorry. Panzer 3 and a Stu 3 moving up. We have a couple artillery pieces in that. A lot of half-tracks moving up. This was a plan in the making, ladies and gentlemen. Huge swath of territory now in Allied hands. They need to gain a lot more territory if they want to turn this tide.
And that, I believe that's a Jackson, is opening fire on those artillery pieces. Oh, Firefly is opening fire on those artillery pieces. Oh, the artillery is down, but can the Panzer 3 be destroyed? Or will the other command tank...
Jesus Christ, this is a comeback for the ages. We have a counterattack, though, coming straight through. The hedgerows are providing enough defenses.
Ooh, who's going to see who first? That is the question.
Marauder trying to come in on the flank.
Oh!
Unfortunately knocking out that Panzer 3. Can this thing kill the Firefly? That is the question, ladies and gentlemen. Marauder preparing the shot.
Oh, that Marauder.
Lining it up.
That Marauder.
Getting hit. Panicked by the Firefly. Half-track going guns blazing down the road.
That guy inside is like, get him, guys!
It manages to speed past the carcass and is still pushing on through, causing a huge breach in German lines. Things are not looking good. The German Air Force needs to come in and provide some support. Where are the German Luftwaffe?
Better question.
German forces on the left-hand side also taking some serious losses. In the middle, overwhelming again.
They are running out
They are
of men.
holding, but need support, and unfortunately that is not coming. Typhoon coming in. Where are the bombs? Where is he going to drop it? There's a couple hard points still being held.
Oh.
Fighter squadrons coming in, trying to save the day. They could probably take out that Typhoon.
Well, they will take out that Typhoon.
No, Typhoon's still alive, smoking, but still standing. Can it survive?
Nope.
Fighter coming on tail.
Oh.
Knocks it out of the sky.
Oh.
But double fighters coming in with AA support. German Luftwaffe gonna have some issues. The fighters taking some casualties. Though, coming in on the tail of the Allies. Unfortunately, the Allied planes went over AA forces, causing a huge ordeal. Axis no longer decisive victory for them. They need to gain back territory, and Stat Air Force taking some casualties, but still managing to live as they pull back. Things are not looking good. I was expecting the German Air Force to come in and save the day, but alas, that is not the case. Although, armor is coming in on the flank, knocking out some of the half-tracks and whatnot. AT guns on standby, should probably move up. We got the Firefly moving up.
I like that one recon guy in the back. He's like, guys, don't worry. I'll tell you exactly where they are.
He's actually so hidden they can't even see him. Unfortunately, Tempest still over the skies can provide some direct air assault, and the right-hand side is pretty much broke. Actually, no, mid is broken for the Germans. They need to send an armored unit there. Stat, they have an AT gun moving up, but they need some armor. Things are not looking good. That push was something the Germans did not anticipate, nor did they. Oh boy, but that said, they're slowly gaining back. They're slowly holding some territory. The Germans need to hold 57% of the map to hold a victory toward the end. The question is, can they do it? We're at 59, possibly 60% of the map is under Allied control. That unit's pretty much being surrounded and will probably surrender very soon. Germans need to turn the tide. Getting some nice shots on those half-tracks, however, that could be pretty good. Air Force cleaning the remaining piece of territory. And not only have the Allies broken mid and the right flank, but now the left too is falling. We still have units still there trying to hold out, but with those moving half-tracks, things are not looking good. AT gun under fire by those fighters. Unfortunately, could cause some issue. Some half-tracks still under fire, knocking them out. They need to kill that Firefly. If they kill the Firefly, the armor could move up unopposed on German lines. 61% of the map now is controlled by the Allies. Oh boy, this is not looking good. And you thought this game was over. I know I sound like, I know I'm going a little bit over the top, but I feel like this game really adds to being over the top. Finally, the German Air Force comes in with a plane to deal with that armor and knocks out that Cromwell. Now it needs to hold up and go after that Firefly if at all possible. Another one coming up. Can it target some of those armored units? What the HS-129 needs to turn around, get some nice shots on those half-tracks, neutralize them, and help push, because we are at 70%. We actually have a minor victory for the Allies now popping up, which is astounding. The Allies having such an incredible downturn in the first 30 minutes of this game has somehow come back. Now they need to take out that Firefly. Question is, will this do it? We also have to worry about the enemy Air Force. Remember, they still have those Tempests available that can be called in. The 129 needs to hit the Firefly. It needs to if they want to win. AT gun trying to move up. A lot of infantry though. MG opening fire, doing what it can, but there's just a lot of forces. Oh shoot. They still have forces on the right. They need to gain some more. Question is, what are you going for? Taking out the half track, not a bad idea. Still alive though, somehow, possibly using the hedgerows to survive. 129 is enough for one more strafe and still has enough firepower to continue strafing the units on the ground. Although we have a lot of Crusaders coming in, so AA seems to be now in the Allies' plane of attack. 26% of the map is now owned by the Germans. Germans need to turn the tide soon, as it looks like in the next 2 minutes, less than a minute I would say, that the point victory will change. This thing is almost out of fuel. It can only really go for one more strafe if it hasn't pulled back already. Oh boy. It is a sad day for this commander. 129 coming in, knocked out the command vehicle, needs to target the Firefly. What is this guy doing? Let's double check to make sure that the German player can even see it. He can. He can still see that tank, though it's marked as unidentified. Could be issue for a hit. Though it is identified now, enough AA fire caused. Unfortunately, he's pulling this thing back. So that is a sad day indeed. Allied forces just overwhelming the Germans in all fronts now. Only left-hand side having a bare minimum defensive line. AA moving up, pretty much making sure the Luftwaffe doesn't gain any chance, and
it's just a sea of AA at the moment.
Yeah, there's just too much. If they send a plane over, there'll be just too much AA. Infantry and mechanized forces slowly moving up. Reserved infantry moving up, just trying to hold what they can. But alas, it doesn't seem to be working. Some random units are being taken out, but overall, the Allies have control. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, they were pushed back over here and couldn't take the middle of this map. At most, they were able to push to this point where the victory flag, the surrender flag is. But because of that huge armored push that the Germans were not expecting, that flank pulled reserves around and just broke the entire front for a giant Allied push. And now it looks like the Axis have lost the game. There's no way they're coming back from this. They had one chance, but alas, they just could not counterattack anywhere. That was a magnificent, astounding counterattack by the Allies. And why, like in Company of Heroes 2, never surrender, as you can always come back. Pioneers throwing grenades on that half track, and let's see, victory for Harold. Thank you for submitting that replay. So let's double check here. Harold and Alazar about even in losses and kills, though edging out Harold on kills. But that being said, it was probably close to the end of that game where we actually started getting a lot of kills. Let's double check for overall. Let's see, kills. Firefly. Yeah, the Firefly is essentially what helped turn the tide. Firefly coming in to save the day. And otherwise, it's about even. Not really anything got that many kills, though. Let's see, this Pack 40 did pretty damn well. Yeah, the Stu. You can see here the Germans had fewer units that did a lot more casualties against the Allies. But yeah, it was just that giant push that they were just unable to hold. So that was pretty damn good. I really enjoyed that game. Thank you again, Alazar and Harold, for that awesome game. Remember, send in a replay. You can do so via my Gmail, my Facebook, or just go to Steel Division Replays, and I'll take a look there. In any case, it's been Greyshot17. Before I go, I also want to thank my Patreon supporters like Leo, Sean, and Tim. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support. But in any case, like I said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.